fast forward to COVID, Gen Z unearths the early 2000 reality relic. America's Next Top Model is trending again. So I didn't realize that it retrended because I'm not trendy. Did you know?
I had no clue. I'm not a TikToker.
I'm not a
So
TikToker either because I was scared of TikTok for a long time because they were like, the Chinese, they're going to come and get ya.
if it's not in a documentary, I usually don't know.
This time, people weren't watching to admire the makeovers at all. They were watching to critique the trauma. And cue the Netflix documentary era, cue the TikTok clips that we didn't watch, and cue the cultural reckoning. Because today we're asking, did we misunderstand the show? Did time reframe it? Do we feel bad for Tyra? Do we feel bad for the models? Do we feel bad for the staff? Because her coworkers and other hosts, I actually felt bad when I watched the Netflix documentary.
I don't know. Sometimes they're not telling the full story. So it's really hard if you weren't there
That's
to
true.
experience.
But those three, the runway model, the commentator, and Nigel, the photographer, still seem very close. And I was kind of shocked about that, which I thought was really cool. So, what controversies didn't get fully explored? Let's unpack that.
So America's Next Top Model premiered in 2003 on UPN.
Because
Great.
no other network would pick it up. She said she went to every network to pitch it.
Oh, is that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
America's Next Top Model premiered in 2003 on UPN. Created and hosted by Tyra Banks. This was peak 2000s. Low-rise jeans, thin eyebrows. I still got mine. Heroin chic, still lingering.
Mm-hmm.
Tabloids body-shaming women on grocery store covers. Reality TV was also exploding at this time. Survivor, The Bachelor, Biggest Loser. Humiliation was entertainment currency. ANTM wasn't shocking in that era. It wasn't aspirational. It felt like access to a glamorous world most girls would never see. And Tyra wasn't just a host. She was a Black supermodel who broke barriers in an industry that was historically brutal. At the time, she felt powerful. Now, the rewatch hits different.
It does. So when Gen Z rediscovered ANTM during lockdown, TikTok lit up with clips that felt very uncomfortable. So some examples that drew backlash were the race switch photo shoot where models were styled as different ethnicities. They did blackface on one of the white girls. They did do Indian, which those headdresses are gorgeous. I mean, who doesn't think about what they would look like as something else? But I guess I don't know how I would feel about that if I was an indigenous person.
And nowadays, based on the cultural changes, I can see why reopening it may look like it's from a different lens.
We are definitely hypersensitive these days, or, the younger generations are definitely hypersensitive. I feel like I grew up in an era where, like, we just ignored everything.
You couldn't get stole at the store. Kidnapped.
Yeah.
None of that happens.
Yeah, we just swept it under the rug. So pressuring contestants to close gaps in their teeth. This was a big one that they harped on in the documentary. How did you feel about it?
Like, you should never be forced to make that decision. And I think that's really sad that they would do that. Where I found it most fucked up, in another episode, they made somebody widen their gap.
I mean, that's sad. And this girl was really perplexed about this. Like, she called her mom, she was crying, didn't want to get rid of it. And she was a beautiful woman with or without the gap. But Tyra pretty much told her, you can move forward, but you have to close that gap. And the girl goes, all of it? And she goes, all of it.
During the documentary, she still had a little gap.
It was sad. So publicly critiquing weight fluctuations. I mean, they showed one girl going almost into like a seizure, like a blackout phase. She passed out.
I seen where they were really mean to the one girl, like, you gotta stop snacking. And then the whole
They showed her eating the whole time.
And then they went back and like all the contestants were saying she doesn't take care of herself. She eats too much. I was
like, you're there, are you really that fat? I don't know. She wasn't.
I have a quick story on that
Yeah,
topic. One day I was in an office meeting and I was like a few seconds late and I said, sorry, I was getting lunch. And he's like, oh, let me guess, a Big Mac.
that is rude. I do
Everybody took it offensive. And I laughed,
sure.
of course, because that's how I am.
So anyway, forcing makeovers that felt humiliating. Some of them did feel humiliated. The one girl said her mom was wheelchair bound because of a shooting.
They recreated crime scenes. They knew that about her mom. Why would she get that same reenactment?
Yeah, because they were pulling
They
her
wanted her to
heartstrings.
get emotional. What about the girl they recorded with the guy? There was a girl that
Mm,
was so
so drunk.
wasted. Nobody tried to save her or help her. They just let what happened happen. Then they made her call her boyfriend over the
Whipped
phone
me up,
recording.
saying that she had cheated on him, and
You'll have to watch it, but
it was devastating. Like, she's in a corner with her head down, crying, trying to explain this on the phone to her boyfriend, and everyone around her is, like, filming her, and at the end, they're like, "Sorry, we had to do that." It
what's
was
the
awful, and I mean, granted, yeah, she did put herself in that situation by drinking too much, but when you have that many outlying people around you, somebody should help a bitch out. Like, seriously, help a bitch out. I did not like that at all. And then we have the infamous, "We were all rooting for you, Tiffany," and that she was screaming at this girl.
Oh, she was a psycho in that one.
She was. Okay, Tyra must have really felt some feels in that moment because that woman was going off.
Now, a lot of times she would have a good explanation. Like, I can see if her heart was really into it and that girl was really, she was trying to save her, but I don't know. There was just too much that
It's hard to
just,
tell.
yeah,
It's hard to tell. We don't know what we're really seeing, do we?
right? Imagine being 19, sleep deprived, filmed 24/7, and a supermodel is screaming at you because you're not crying the way she wants. And that's the thing. When we watched it live, it was drama. When we watch it now, it feels like power imbalance. Time didn't change that footage, it changed our cultural lens.
Yeah, it definitely did. But it's complicated.
It is. It is complicated. Contestants have since spoken out about sleep deprivation, limited food access, contracts that limited pay, psychological stress, minimal aftercare. Many former contestants have said that they were paid very little, reportedly around $40 a day for stipends in early cycles. There were also allegations that production would manipulate narratives. Editing can turn vulnerability into villain art. But here's the nuance. Many contestants also say the show gave them exposure, opportunity, and lifelong friendships. Some built careers, some didn't. Some carry trauma. Reality TV is a machine, and 19-year-olds were the fuel.
Definitely. And a lot of them were crying in the documentary, still just like hashing this like scenario that they had been through. And it made me feel really bad
Yeah.
for them. It was really hard. Just can't imagine because they said even if you won, you weren't getting the deals that you thought you were getting. You weren't becoming the next top model per se.
I think a lot of those reality shows, same with
They
America's
promise you the world.
talent. Like, there's been people that are bigger stars that didn't make it. And people have said they were better off not making it because you're tied down to all these contracts and stipulations.
Yeah, that's scary. So, this is where it gets controversial. Tyra positioned herself as a mentor, and she often said she was preparing them for the real modeling world. And she wasn't wrong that the fashion industry is harsh. And historically, it's been ruthless about many things, especially weight, skin, teeth, age, attitude. Everything is
Yeah.
very everything is just what you see. They don't care about your personality so
No.
much as your looks. So she was replicating a system that she survived, or was she perpetuating it?
Is it trauma or is it hazing? Tyra has defended some decisions, saying context matters and the industry at the time was different. But critics argue just because something was standard doesn't make it ethical. Still, Tyra herself was molded by an industry that criticized her body, her hair, and her race. Did she internalize the harshness? Was she trying to toughen them up? Or was she unconsciously repeating what was done to her? Time reframes her too. She's not just the villain in a TikTok clip. She's also a product of 90s modeling culture.
Yeah. So the staff and the production side of this, the producers in the 2000s operated in a different regulatory environment. So the contestants on the competition were not classified as traditional employees, which meant that there were no union protections. They had limited mental health oversight, meaning that there was not a therapist on site for them to talk to when they ran into these dilemmas. They just had to cope on their own.
Which I think you would need one of those just being on a reality show. I think it would fuck with you a little bit
Yeah, I mean, you loved like the
mentally.
real world and stuff like back in the day.
Yeah.
And all I was ever thinking was, this is a problem. Like they were
Look how many people
so
are
crazy.
judgmental now, especially. People are so judgmental. If you don't have thick skin, you are not making it through a reality show because somebody is always going to
Judge ya.
have something horrible to say about you.
Oh, it's terrible. And then you have the long filming hours and producer driven storylines. So, they show you what they want you to see and give you the lens that they want you to have. You don't really know what was really happening, just what they're showing you. So the production company was Bankable Productions, which is pretty cute on Tyra Banks,
Yeah.
Bankable Productions.
Bankable.
This
Yeah.
is very cheesy, but I like it. So she worked within a system that prioritized ratings. Was staff complicit or were they just doing what the genre demanded for the time? Producers are incentivized to create a narrative of tension. Like calm isn't trending.
Do you want the drama?
We do. We all want it.
So while the Netflix and streaming era conversations focused on viral clips, some controversies didn't always get deep analysis. Number one, contestant deaths. Several former contestants from various cycles have passed away in the years following their appearances, including Jael Strauss and others. Fans questioned whether post-show support systems were sufficient. Number two, contract limitations. Winners are sometimes locked into management contracts that limited outside opportunities. There were debates about how beneficial or restrictive those contracts were long term. Three, lack of mental health infrastructure. Modern reality shows often include therapists on set. ANTM's early cycles did not appear to have visible mental health support integrated into filming. Number four, cultural sensitivity blind spots. Photo shoots involving racial transformation, indigenous representation, or exotic themes were often framed as art at the time. Today, they're viewed through a lens of cultural exploitation.
Definitely. So here's the truth. If ANTM premiered today, exactly as it was in 2003, it would be canceled in season one. But in 2003, it was progressive in some ways. It featured plus size contestants, trans contestants in later cycles, and a wide range of racial representation for the time. And it was both ahead of its time and painfully behind it.
Right? Time didn't just expose cruelty, it exposes growth. We've collectively become more aware of mental health, power dynamics, editing manipulation, body positivity, and workplace ethics. The discomfort we feel rewatching, that's cultural evolution.
So, who do we really feel bad for here? The models? Yeah. They were young, vulnerable, and in high pressure environments. Tyra, maybe. She navigated a brutal industry and she built an empire, but perhaps never fully examined the cost of replicating that brutality. So, the staff? Yeah, they were part of the system designed for ratings, not rehabilitation. The audience? We were complicit too. I enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the documentary.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe I should go back and watch it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So we cheered the makeovers, we replayed the meltdowns, we laughed at the dramatic edits, and now we cringe. And that shift says something powerful. So, rewatching America's Next Top Model isn't just about nostalgia. It's about watching how culture changes. So, it's about realizing that empathy evolves. And maybe it's about forgiving our younger selves for not seeing what we see now. So, reality TV didn't change.
We did.